What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Tribune Show. Rise and shine, sunny side up. Welcome. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We were most apologetic to bring this show a whole day late, but I feel like there was pretty good reason, at least at the time. Now, the story's kind of changed a little bit, but we'll get into that a little bit here in just a bit. Yeah, welcome. This is I don't even know what edition this is. I stopped counting because I figure I'm just going to keep this going weekly as much as I can, with the exception to like holidays and unforeseen instances. So, it is what it is. We're just going to keep it sort of on theme. The Tribune Show, we kind of cover a wide variety of topics. So, buckle up for those of you who are new to the show. We are going to have a banger today. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. Part of the reason, let's go ahead and start with it, I guess. Part of the reason why I wanted to start with the show being today as opposed to yesterday was that there was actually supposed to be a significant astrological alignment tonight. We were actually supposed to have not one, not two, not even three, but 5 planets. We were going to have 5 planets all in the sky, visible at the same time, which pretty weird if we live on a ball in the first place, but we're not even going to go there. Just really, really cool to see. I have a visual here in a bit. That was the big reason I like doing things lining up with astrological happenings, if possible, just because I feel like it adds a little bit of spice, a little bit of astral energy to the show, if you will. And another big reason is that I've been working overtime trying to get this show, really on track and get a few other things in my life in order. Not to get too much into personal business, but I was partially celebrating my son's first birthday recently. And we were going out to have like a family outing, and it was really exhausting. So I figured now would be a good time to introduce, as my family to the show, something that I take a lot of pride in as a father. We'll go ahead and introduce the birthday boy himself. I don't have a sound button for the Oz, but there he is. There's my little boy, Emmett. He is my second son. I actually have another 3 fixing to be 4-year-old named Riker, but we were celebrating this little guy's birthday, so a lot of fun. We went out to the local park, had a lot of fun out in the sun, as they say, and then also go ahead and share the rest of the fam as well. We had a stranger take a very nice family photo. Always nice when you can count on that. It's everybody's so afraid of stranger danger these days. And there's really, you got to be situational, right? So it took this lovely photo, which was great that my kids were actually all behaving for the moment. But yeah, we were standing out there in the nice open field. They had trails going out through that. We do like playground parks and stuff too for like socialization, but our boys, Riker in particular, he really likes going on the trails. Emmett, we're still figuring him out. So, but so far there's not too much that he doesn't like. He's a very optimistic child. So again, nice sunny day out here. A lot of fun. Let's get back over to the theme page. All right, now that I got that out there, let's go ahead and do just a quick shout out. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll go ahead and shout out the lovely folks over on Rokfin first. Of course, we have Sky's the Limit. What is up? If you guys want to have your comments read throughout the show, then feel free to join us over on Rokfin. There is a link in the description. And Andrew B., good evening. What is up, my friend? We're looking forward to possibly having you on the show. We'll see. We have always the opportunity to join later on in the second half. That's where we jump over to Rokfin, really get loosey-goosey, get uncensored, since the powers that be over there don't want to stifle free speech. So that is where we will be going here after about an hour or so. So just stay tuned for that. Make your way over to that side. Before then, Mischief Brew, what is up? Hold on, cheers. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Mischief Brew, long time listener. You've really stuck through it. Doesn't this production look like a lot better than we first started out? This is awesome. Super duper grateful. Okay, now let's go ahead and shout out the people over on YouTube. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Man, we got a loaded cast over here. KC Industry Legend, what is up? Nuba, couldn't make it for now, but hey, we appreciate you. We're going to shout you out anyway. Mellow Dome, another legend. Jeremy Bird, we will indeed keep crushing, my friend. Thank you very much. Rethink, we did indeed fire it up. TJ Powell, Troubling Tribune, did you manage to watch the Flat Earth Banjo's Southern Cross video? I have not. I have seen the 16 emergency landings videos before. I know all about that. Of course, not off the top of my head now that I'm thinking about it, but I do know about it. And but I didn't get the chance to watch the Southern Cross video. I appreciate you bringing it up. I'll definitely get a chance this week. Drano Pitt, what is up? He's one of my brothers over from TikTok. If you guys want to go ahead and give him a follow. Boo Ranch and Three Fingers, what is up, my friend? All right, all you legends, first come, first serve, right? I can't shout out everybody. Can't sit here all day. That'd be pretty boring. Make sure if you haven't already, smash that like button. That really helps the algorithms. We're being shadow banned pretty hard. Pretty freaking hard over here on YouTube. That's why we're one of the other reasons why we're stretching more of our efforts over to the TikTok aisle, which we are going to be bringing a lot more of those to you. Fun. Now that I've actually found the way to stream it over here with ease, I'm going to pick a thumbnail that I really like, and we're going to go ahead and do probably a daily TikTok stream, right? And so that's going to be really fun. You guys can tune in for that. And or tune in on the TikTok. That's always really fun to do as well. Lots of really dynamic guests, lots of really funny things that you hear over there as well. But hey, it's all part of the education process. What we get to do for these people is absolutely astounding. The fact that we have to do it is astounding. But hey, it's not a thankless job. I do have all you here to show support, so I do really appreciate that. Let me go ahead and pull this astrological anomaly that we have. It's something that's pretty rare. It only happens every 18 years or so. I'm going to go ahead and shorten it up so that it actually fits. And it's pretty cool because, I mean, you guys who are sensitive to this kind of stuff, you may have been feeling, how do you say, a change in the air. So here we have it. I actually pulled this directly from the article. So you have Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and Mars all lined up with the moon, although it's showing a full moon. That's obviously not what we have. It's like for us, it's like, I'm not sure if there's different phases around the Earth, but it's like a half moon for right now. Maybe a little less. Haven't really looked up the moon phase just yet. Probably should have. Probably should have if I'm going to talk about astrological happenings. But yeah, you can see it kind of close to sunset. Now, this is the reason why this is funny. Because I thought that this was going to happen today. I saw a Mashable article that said it was going to be Monday night. And lo and behold, other sources actually tell me it's going to be Tuesday. So I can't remember what that source was right off the top of my head. But so Tuesday night, tomorrow night, folks, be sure to tune into the night sky and catch these glorious timekeepers that have been placed up there for us. Absolutely astounding. As far as like some people are like curious to the meaning of that kind of stuff, you know, who the heck cares if there's some lights in the sky? Well, again, if you're sensitive to this kind of stuff, then you can kind of feel a change in the wind, if you will. And that's not just because we just had the, springtime. We were coming into the true new year, so we are coming into where everything truly refreshes. But on top of that, with this every 18-year alignment, it's actually pretty interesting. Now, when we talk about, I'm just going to go in order. So we have Jupiter as the first one that you can see, and Jupiter is like it's basically considered the philosopher of planets. So it's really good for. Um, Give me one second. I'm kind of brain farting. I get them confused. I do get them confused sometimes, so I'm careful not to misspeak too much. But Jupiter is basically the planet of order. So you want to be really just taking a good look at all the things in your life. Not too hard with all the other planets going on. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to say this right. You get a good mix of energies here, though, to say the least. And I'm definitely not a guru, but just based on some of the things that I can feel, I do feel certain kinships, certain energies, if you will, with these lights in the sky, and particularly Mercury. That's the planet of communication. So this is also going to be really important. Communication is pretty straightforward. Not just communication with others, but communication with yourself. So it's a very good time to look inwardly. Venus is going to symbolize passion and emotion. So there's definitely going to be like high emotions. You may have noticed people around you, or maybe even yourself, have been like quick to happiness or quick to anger, quick to be emotional in general. Something to look out for, but definitely something to be grateful for, that you can really feel out your emotions and help guide you. Not to, it's always funny when you hear a man talking about this, like that's wussy stuff. But no, it's just realistic. Everybody has emotions, and it's good to be emotionally intelligent. And then we're also going to have Mars, which is going to be the action planet. That's like the war god. So anything that you set your mind to, like things that you've been thinking about doing, now is the time to go ahead and launch forward. But keep in mind that there's also going to be Saturn, which is, a huge symbol of karma. So and that's why I get karma confused with Jupiter quite often. But that's because when viewing Jupiter, it allows you to see Saturn easier, not in a literal sense, but I mean energetically. So just be on the lookout for that. Things that you have sown previously are going to come back, and you may have to deal with that, or this may be the closing of dealing with that karma and the starting of something new, which is really, really beautiful. So for this reason, that's why I wanted to start this show on the day that this was happening. So kind of missed it, but whatever. It's all good. Who knows how accurate those news sources can be anyway. Yeah, really cool things happening in the sky tonight. So let's move on here. I think there was one more thing that I had with this. Oh, no, I don't want to change the thumbnail. Whoopsie daisy. All right. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and move on. That's good. All right. So, since we are dealing with this, fresh new happenings, this great energy to work with, I'm going to go ahead and focus like mostly on good news, right? News that we can be confident in. It's really awesome. So let's find this. Sorry, this next thing is eluding me. Where did you go? Okay. So you guys are going to be really, really excited about this. I can't even express to you how excited you're going to be. I know I was, um, but certainly not as excited as the NASA fanboys. Here is the hero image. All right. For those of you who don't know, this is incredibly recent breaking news. Um, the hero image is the latest and greatest image taken by the dinosaur Hubble telescope. It's still in operation. Um, Not sure how after all these years, unless they're just doing continuous maintenance. That must be pretty freaking difficult. But nonetheless, let's take a look at this stunning image. I can't believe it made it so small like that. Embarrassing. All right, here it is blown up. Take a moment, take it all in. Its glory, its splendor. One thing that I can tell you for sure is that I definitely 100% believe this. There's no way that this could be faked at all. I think it's hilarious, though, on a serious note, that they think that just by zooming in and putting the lights, just put more lights in it, make the lights a little smaller, that we're not going to catch on. Let's go ahead and scrutinize this for just a moment. I'm going to make this even bigger. Actually, I can probably get to a better page for that. Nope. I cannot. All right, whatever. More of the show's preloaded today. What can I say? I blew it up a little bit for you. You know what? Screw it. Let's cover myself. How narcissistic can you be, right? Okay. So there we have it in its full glory. And if you think it looks like shit, I agree with you. This is what the taxpayers are paying for. And what's really cool, though, is that if you really look close, it's like they pretty much debunk themselves, because here you have all the lights kind of like, they're looking like they're all doing the same circular pattern. Maybe I just don't know anything about lenses, right? Argument from incredulity. But this is just absolutely laughable. I could probably recreate this on Canva in a matter of, well, they got a lot of lights on there. I'd probably say 30 minutes. Probably take me 30 minutes to make something like this on Canva, and it would probably look a lot better than this, be a lot higher definition. Makes me wonder what they're trying to hide with it being such low quality definition. It's like, oh, that's just the quality of government science. What a laugh. Okay. I do have something I actually better. Somebody private was able to do a little bit of a zoom, right, with their phone, which I thought was absolutely incredible. The things that we're able to do with phones these days is phenomenal. Give me just 1 second. We're going to go ahead and wait for the video to loop out. Taking its... Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and check this out. Guy's going to zoom in on the moon. What kind of quality content you get over on Instagram. Wow, that's a pretty good shot. Here you can kind of see the moon like waving and stuff. Oh, yeah, footprint. It's totally real. It's totally real. And not fake at all. This guy did it with his phone, guys. Come on. The level of technology we have now, there's like no way to be able to prove any video coming out from NASA or SpaceX, China, or any of that is real at all. There's no way to know for sure. So, Globers, if you're watching this, will you please stop saying that, the pictures are proof and the videos are proof, right? Obviously, this guy didn't zoom in on the footprint on the moon, right? We can agree on that fully. It's not hard to understand. Nuba, you did make it. Awesome. You son of a bitch. Mind my language, right? I apologize. If you have kids watching, not sure what you're doing. I labeled this clearly not for kids. Web page is playing noise. I didn't even know it. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on here. We got lots of stuff still to go. So again, we appreciate all you guys tuning in while I'm doing this. Now it seems like a perfect time to go ahead and do a shameless plug. If you are still watching over on the YouTube side, not sure what exactly you are doing, YouTube is great-ish. If you like encroaching tyrannical censorship coming soon to a theater near you, we actually like to have our content backed up and our best content provided over to a platform called Rokfin. You see their symbol down there in the corner. A lot of you viewers are already familiar with that, but if you are not, feel free to go and check it out, create a free account, and then you too can have all your comments read live, on the air, which is absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and copy this. All right. So yeah, you can go ahead and have your comments read. Also, if you elect to actually pay for an account, then you can support not only myself, but many, many other content creators in the truth community, such as Jaronism, Karen B, Melodome, um, Austin Witsit, and many, many more. The only way to know is to actually go. So there you have it. That is my best advice to you. Of course, if you would like to just do a one-time donation or a super chat, we appreciate those as well. All funds are going to support the operation, build better equipment, help fund research, and so on and so forth. All right. So off of this hero image that we just had, I'll go ahead and transition it back. Actually, let me let me make you just a little bit smaller, please and thank you. Okay, perfect. All right, so back on the hero image, imagine being able to look at one of these little lights in the sky and being able to calculate the age of that light. And no, I'm not talking about like its travel time or anything like that, because I know we're kind of desensitized to that BS. You know, they kind of told us like, we know this star's like this many light years away, and blah 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 blah. But now scientists are saying that they are actually able to calculate the age of a star, which is really really funny. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oops, real quick. It's absolutely crazy because it's one thing to be able to calculate actually anything, right? I don't think they can calculate anything about those dots in the sky, the mass, um, the distance traveled, anything. That's absolutely phenomenal. The gases. Imagine being hubris enough to say that you can tell me the gases in that light in the sky. That's insane to me. All right, just a few more adjustments. Oy, oy, oy. Doesn't want to make it easy for me. Almost. We're almost there. I apologize. All right. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay. Never mind the horrible ad that it's forcing us to endure. Um, 1 second. Where the heck? Unbelievable. Lost the freaking scene that I was just working on. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, how do scientists calculate the age of the star? This is from Science News. And so it's not just some joke article. Although you might feel that way, it definitely seems like a joke to me. Let's get rid of this ad if we can. Okay. Let's go ahead and get down here. Oh man, you guys are super limited. Okay. There we go. Gonna try not to read this whole thing because obviously space shit to us is pretty lame and boring. But again, just highlighting the hubris of these people is absolutely crazy. Um, we know quite a lot about stars. After centuries of pointing telescopes at the night sky, astronomers and amateurs alike can figure out key attributes of any star, like its mass or its composition. That's freaking hilarious. What were we just talking about? They literally think that they know the mass and the makeup of these lights in the sky based on a tube and mirrors and lenses. To calculate a star's mass, just look at its orbital period and do a bit of algebra. Okay. Obviously, we're not even going to get into all the assumptions that they make with that. Um, This is not a Schooling the Globers stream necessarily. To determine what it's made of, we look at the spectrum of light that the star emits in an open environment between the atmosphere and all the possible gases in space and all the problems that they've had. Okay. One variable haven't quite cracked yet is time. Okay, so I thought that they could dictate the time, or sorry, tell us what the age of the star, right? The sun is the only star that we know the age of. Again, another statement of absolute pure hubris. Astronomer David Soderblom of the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore. Everything else is bootstrapped up from there. So they make an assumption about the age of the star, and then they make a whole bunch of other assumptions about the age of everything else. Sounds about right. After all, when you assume that the light from the sun is taking 8 minutes to get to you, and then you extrapolate, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of light years away to supposedly distant objects, it can definitely build a nasty weave, to say the least. Okay, sorry, scrolling down to be able to read this stuff. Okay. Even well-studied stars surprise scientists every now and then. In 2019, the red supergiant Betelgeuse dimmed. Astronomers weren't sure if it was just going through a phase or a supernova explosion was imminent. Turns out it was just a phase. No shit, because supernovas are fake. The sun also shook things up when scientists noticed that it wasn't behaving like other middle-aged stars. So we have another example of, I know it seems light, but just them making predictions that are not turning out. Big shock, right? This happens constantly. And instead of reworking their model from the ground up like they should, they will just continue to do backflips to make this work, right? It's not as magnetically active compared with other stars of the same age and mass. Okay, so this is another crazy thing. They said that they could tell us the composition. They did not tell us that they could tell us how magnetically active these distant stars were, right? This is ridiculous. So now we know the composition, the total mass, and how magnetically active it is. What the frick? What if the star was half as close and half as big? Would that change anything? Probably not. Scaling invariance. That suggests that astronomers might not fully understand the timeline of no shit. We don't understand the timeline because you're making it up. I don't want to skip past this little thing here. Hold on, sorry, I just realized you guys had part of it cut off. Give me a second. This should help. Here we go. All right, sorry about that. All right, so they go on to tell you that, go into these calculations that they have based on physics, quote unquote, and then indirect measurements of a star's age, which is layman's terms for telling you directly that they have no way of verifying and have no way of directly telling the age of the star. It's just a bunch of guesswork. Some methods work better for different types of stars, and here are 3 ways, finally. So we're to the ways, and I'm almost asleep. I apologize, guys. All right, we'll try to stay upbeat and positive. It's always good to know how this stuff is done. That way, in case it ever comes up in a True Earth debate, which of course you guys can catch those every Friday night. Definitely join us. Okay. Sorry, I keep scrolling on. Hertzsprung Russell diagrams, a pretty good handle. Stars are born, how they live, and how they die. Another set of ridiculously hubris claims. For instance, stars burn through their hydrogen fuel, puff up eventually, expel their gases into space, whether with a bang or a whimper, blah, 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 blah. But when exactly each stage of the life cycle begins is where it gets complicated. Okay. you didn't even know when when the star was born. Really, it's ridiculous. Okay, depending on their mass, certain stars hit those points after different numbers of years. More assumptions. Massive stars can burn for billions of years. Oh, I wonder how you would know that. At the turn of the 20th century, two astronomers independently came up with the idea to plot stars' temperature against their brightness. You don't know their temperature. And you don't know their brightness, really, because you made it a base assumption about their distance. Okay, patterns of these. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so that's one way they do it. If you guys want to learn more, then I can drop this article in the chat. Rotation rate. Have noticed a trend. Stars in younger clusters spin faster than stars in older clusters. The frick? Institute astronomer drew stars' rotation rate, surface activity, and proposed a simple equation to estimate a star's age. Okay. So I'm not sure if they're talking about the rotation in like a galaxy, or if they're talking like it's like self-rotation, if like those little stars are circling. Probably need to educate myself a little more on that. This was the go-to method for individual stars for decades, but new data have poked holes in this utility. It turns out that some stars don't slow down when they hit a certain age. Instead, they keep the same rotation and speed for the rest of their lives. How would you know that? Stellar seismology. They're going to be measuring waves in the stars now that they can't get to. The new data confirmed rotation rate wasn't the best way, obviously. Um, I don't imagine using just a whole set of assumptions based on other assumptions is the best way to come to any conclusion. The exoplanet hunting Kepler Space Telescope. Here we go. Break out the big guns, boys. Not just a boon for exoplanet research. Kepler pushed stellar seismology to the forefront by simply staring at the same stars for a really long time. Fascinating and helpful. Like watching paint dry. A little bit better than that, right? At least the stars twinkle. But when you're talking about like staring at fake CGI images for that long, then yeah, I might rather die. Who knows? Watching a star flicker can give clues to its age. Scientists look at the changes in a star's brightness as an indicator to what's happening beneath the surface. And through modeling, through estimation, they can roughly calculate the star's age. To do this, one needs a really big data set on the star's brightness, which the Kepler telescope could provide. Everybody thinks that it's all about finding planets, but I like to say that the Kepler's mission was a stealth stellar physics mission, says Soderblom. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm already like struggling to finish this article. I'm so bored. I really don't want to force you guys to read any more of it. But for other fascinating space stories, you can go to what website is this? This was sciencenews.com. I'll go ahead and post the sciencenews.org. Yeah. Hold on, it's not wanting to copy for me. Let's get it copied. All right. Getting a request from FE Nation. Shout out. See if there was anything significant on the 22nd of February in 2023 on the star charts. Thanks. I think we could possibly do that live on the show, God willing. In fact, I'll do that for you on the second half if you stay tuned. FE Nation, I assume you do have a Rokfin account. All right. So there's that for you. Rokfin, here's that for you. Scrutinize away. More ass hat science. Speaking of, this is something else that I thought was really comical that they would that this was a thing. And I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because this is part of the heavy propaganda that is out in the forefront today. Talking, of course, about simulation theory. Let's see if this actually pulls up or if it's just going to do that lame dark screen BS. Of course it is. You get the graphic, you can't read any of the words. It's perfect. Well, here you go. I'll give you these creepy faces to look at. And I'll go ahead and read this article for you guys. Actually, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. All right, just 1 second, because I don't want to scroll on that and ruin your guys' lovely face-to-face interaction there. Like, seriously, who chooses these? Okay, this is from Popular Mechanics. Scientist reveals how to escape our simulation. Things that the ancients were talking about for thousands of years. You know, supposedly. Published not that long ago. For 2 decades, scientists have seriously considered whether we're living in a simulated universe. Probably longer than that. Here's where it gets really exciting. A computer scientist at the University of Louisville explores a way that humans could try to hack our way out of this reality and enter the baseline reality. Oh my God. The baseline reality. We got to get out of this reality to get to the baseline reality. That is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. And here's why. If we're in a simulation or not, regardless, it really doesn't matter. Even if you were in the quote unquote baseline reality, humans have the natural tendency to wonder and try to seek patterns when there aren't necessarily a pattern. And so we would ultimately, I believe, always think that there is another reality or another a heaven or an afterlife, an afterlife, and then an afterlife, so on and so forth. It's a ridiculous concept. It's one of the reasons why I feel that everything that exists actually is, right on top of right here and right on top of here. Just in ways that we can't necessarily perceive. So far, techniques ranging from all the world's religions, along with the immense complexity of the Large Hadron Collider, seem to have no effect on our theoretically simulated reality. Well, that's an interesting take. You don't think the Hadron Collider has an effect? Okay. Well, I think we know. I think we know this magazine's bias or whatever the heck this is. Article. All right. Oh, this is rich. They're going to go ahead and throw in the Matrix here. The red pill, blue pill, famous question that frames the entirety of the Matrix. A 1999 film is a surprisingly resolute Neo takes the red pill and decides to, quote, see how far the rabbit hole goes. The moment is one of the most iconic scenes in sci fi history, but it also explores a relevant philosophical question. Now, for all of you out there in this community, what philosophical question do you think would be raised by the Matrix, right? Well, I'll let you guys answer that in the comments. For them, it's if reality is a simulation, can humans decide to leave it? That is the only question that gets arose out of being siphoned and used for energy by an unseen tyrannical elite. Yeah. No wonder you'd want to leave the Matrix, right? And no wonder there's so many people out here seeking to, leave this reality or move on to a different reality. I totally get the sentiment, but I feel like that is done to us on purpose. This is probably the only place that we can go. So the best thing that we can do is do our damnedest to make this the absolute best place imaginable. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our kids and our grandkids to do that. So part of the reason why I'm out here doing what we do. Okay. The idea that humans could live in a simulation is surprisingly old, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that. Let's talk about how to get out of it. Yamplisky continues his tradition of exploring the boundaries of possible simulation and specifically exploring ways to escape it. He pulls examples from real world examples of hacks, exploits found in video games, as well as more philosophical meanderings about attempting to communicate with our simulator overlords with an avatar. It sounds like he was trying to say astral projection there, but they didn't want to say it. I think it's funny though, the idea of trying to escape like we're living in a video game. Like, how would you do that? Like, try to spam jump a brick wall somewhere, get into an out of bounds area or whatever. Maybe that's why they keep us out of Antarctica, right? That's the part that doesn't render good. So, and Plosky also includes a condominium of other sorts of escape plans theorized by other thinkers, which include generating an incalculable paradox or stressing the simulation's computational capacity, such as requiring millions of people to meditate at the same time and then suddenly becoming active. Absolutely ridiculous. They really want to go with the idea that we're living in a computer. I think they're just kind of trying to get us used to the idea of living in a computer so that right when they ask us to plug in, they'll be like, well, it's no different than regular reality, right? You're already in a computer. Just plug in again, right? Inception. Boop. Easy. Okay. So they don't give us any answers in this big whoop, big surprise, right? They're not telling us the true way that you can escape this uh dimension, if you will, if there is a way, which again I think is poppycock, but just to each their own. I do think that there is a way to glitch reality, so to speak. That's pretty cool. And it's something that I will be getting into on the podcast, Unearthing 5D Reality. Another time for shameless plug. Let me go ahead and get out of here. Boom, and we're back. Shameless plug, right? Unearthing 5D Reality. Our boy Caleb, who's been in the chat, legend on TikTok, has a fantastic podcast. If you're unfamiliar, at unearthing5dreality.com. Go and support them if you wish. They have fantastic content. They've been doing a lot of really hard work out there. And I'm actually going to be joining their podcast here very soon. I don't have the exact date set just yet, but we are going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff, including my personal experience with, how would you say, glitching the Matrix, right? Pretty wild stuff. But just to get back on track, if you would like my opinion on how you would do something along the lines of that, it involves a lot of meditation, which, let's get more specific, right? I'm just going to say meditation, right? That can mean anything. You can meditate on literally anything. So what I recommend you do is I recommend you first do a meditation to expand your awareness, which starts off by doing a basic root chakra meditation. Focus on all seven, all the way up in time with pure focus. Not just trying to focus on blank, on nothing. That's like almost impossible. That's called a void meditation. That has a place, but that's something that's a little bit more advanced. So it's actually better to meditate on something as opposed to nothing at first. So yeah, I will go through the chakra centers, what they mean, their meaning to you, how they relate, intricately in and out. And I would use that to expand your ability to think and retain information. Some people are really good with memory. Some people aren't. I would recommend, if you're not very good at remembering things, that you work on that first. And that starts with, again, expanding your awareness. So I'll leave you guys there at step one, right? Well, I might step one with a tip, right? And that is that you have to really want it. You have to really want to expand your awareness and to think that there's actually something to expand it to, right? If you don't think that there's something else that you could be experiencing in that moment, doing, as a result of doing what you're doing, then why would you be doing it, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So Yeah, really, really cool stuff. There are some people out here, especially on YouTube, who are kind of glitching reality, if you will. Some of those folks you've seen on the journalism show, the remote viewers, Neum and oh man, I can't remember her name. Terrible. Sure somebody in the chat is aware, but yeah, there's actually people with the ability to, remote view things non-locally, as they say. I can basically close my eyes and transport my consciousness or awareness to another location or to another point of information, if you will. And I think that that's some like natural human mechanics that we really need to get a hold of if we want to be players in the game. We're not going to be able to just sit on our hands, grow food in these little compounds with each other and be left alone, right? If you think that that's what's going to happen, you're sadly mistaken. There's going to be more needs to be done for sure. Um, so I do want to cover some really, really positive news, right? This is some of the best news that I've heard in a while. And it's good timing, too. We're getting towards the top of the hour. We'll cover this, do one more shout out, and then we'll do a song on our way out to the Rokfin side. So, YouTube, here in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to be saying sayonara. So now is a good chance. Go ahead and click the description, click the link below, and then you too can join the Cool Kids Club over on Rokfin. Doesn't cost you anything unless you'd like to be the coolest of the kids who do support. Of course, this article is going to do that same BS. Oh, my goodness. What is with this freaking dark theme crap not being able to show? I don't have a white background to trick it, I guess you'd call it. Well, shoot. Give me 1 second. Let me get the. What the heck are you doing? Get out of here. I guess I could just play the video here after I read the headline, because the headline really does say it all. It's really awesome. The more things that happen like this that bring a reality that we want, I feel are really good. So, bill passes that allows concealed carry of firearms without a permit in none other than my home state of Florida. So proud to be a Floridian at this very moment. Not that I have zero qualms with the governor, possibly soon to be president. We'll see. Might be Trump after a staunch battle between the two for the political theater. But here we have short little video. I haven't watched this yet, so I hope this like covers it. No, can't hear it at all, actually. That's great. You kidding me? So you watch these guys just ramble on, I guess, for a second. Okay, screw it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then you guys can. Constitutional carry bill advances. It absolutely does. Hopefully, it doesn't get killed. Let me go ahead and actually read the article, and I'll post it for you guys so you can go check up on it yourself. From WCJB.com, News ABC News 20, bill passes that allows the concealed carry of firearms without permit. All right, that is the key thing there. Without a permit, that means you don't need daddy government's decision or permission to tell you if you can protect yourself or not with one of the most effective devices at self-defense, which is awesome here in America, right? I thought we already had that with the Second Amendment, with the right not being able to be infringed. So all of these other laws are like color of law and really aren't enforceable constitutionally. But hey, that's a whole nother point, right? Again, anything that the fake laws reflect more of what the real laws say, it's just going to make everything easier, I feel. So the bill, of course, would allow people to carry concealed firearms without going through the current licensing steps, including undergoing background screening and receiving training. Fantastic. Parts of the bill also seek to bolster school safety, including by providing money for school hardening, better coordinating threat assessment services. Here we go. And allowing armed guardians in private schools. Now, I'm not against the armed guardians. I think that's actually pretty smart. You would want the parents. You would want the parents to be the ones protecting the kids. That's a fact. I don't think anybody here would disagree with that. However, what I do disagree with is what do they mean by school hardening, right? Here in Florida, our schools already have like gates around them that lock, and they look like a lot like prisons. It doesn't really seem like a good place of learning and free expression. Better coordinated threat assessment services. I wonder what they mean by that as well. I'm open to it, I suppose, things that can help keep the kids safe, but again, this is in private schools, so they're not even talking about this for public schools. Bill supporters, including Representative Senate, say the bill will enhance public safety. I mean, it would, but you should allow it for public schools as well, not just private schools. At the end of the day, if somebody wakes up and makes a decision in their mind that they want to take somebody else's life, they are going to do that. There's no amount of training and no type of law that can prevent those type of actions. And someone's making sense, stated the state rep, John Snyder. But Democrats argue that easing gun restrictions will result in increased violence. Okay. Now we are here expecting our youth to grow, blah, 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 blah. Emotional appeal. Proposal also has drawn the ire of some gun right groups, which want people to be able to openly carry firearms in most public places. That's right. That is right. I thought that's what this was. I guess it's just for schools. The Senate version of the bill would be ready to go to full chamber. No, this was for everything, right? This would just allow people. And then it would also include this other stuff. Okay, so yeah. So why are they upset? Or they're not upset. Maybe I just misread what ire means. Whoopsie daisy. That was a Tribune trouble right there. I don't know what to call that. We had to coin a better term for that. All right. But yeah, some fantastic news. The state of Florida has joined the ranks of the big boys, allowing us to exercise our rights without Big Daddy government's approval. So, round of applause there. Another reason to go ahead and move on down before BlackRock buys up all the property and houses and makes it so that it is impossible for you to even live anywhere because you have too low of a social credit score. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and pick a nice outro song, folks, on YouTube. If you don't make it over, we do appreciate you watching. It has been a blast. Hold on, let me get rid of this. This thing's bothering me. It has been an absolute blast having you here. It sure would be cooler if you joined us over on Rokfin, because a whole lot more is to come. We're going to get into some COVID stuff. We are going to have guests on, and then we are going to just have a really great time. So be sure to come on out. One more plug before we go. I do want to shout out the Mellow Dome. They are doing a big trivia here on the 19th. You may have heard the Titan, Jeranism himself, and little old Troubling here will be going toe-to-toe in the ring. Right, so you do not want to miss that. That is going to be, I believe, the 19th. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. So be sure to stay tuned for that, folks. If you appreciate the content, be sure to support the show. One of the 3 ways down below. Not going to beg for it, but it sure does help. So thanks again. Let's go ahead and do a shout out for you lovely people over on the Rokfin. Nice. Tons of people over here for now. It's been a little bit since I checked. I apologize. But we have Donald Plasek. What is up, my friend? Ace. Gun-free zone should not be a thing. This invites armed criminals. Absolutely. I agree 100%. FE Nation, Rokfin, it will be. We will see you there. Drano Pit, we appreciate you, man. Join us over on the Rokfin. We'd love to have you. Lots of cool stuff going on over there. We also have TJ Powell. Just had a debate with a globalist about this. He said they use the spectrometer to see what elements are absorbed at the surface when light is emitted, and somehow they know the mass of it. It sounds like absolute bullshit to me. I completely agree. FE Nation, I haven't forgot. We will definitely check those star charts for you. Syringe Man, no one's breaking out of the ferment. This place is very permanent. I kind of agree. Kind of. And I'll tell you why on the other side. So stay tuned, right? All right, guys. If I missed you, I apologize. But hey, jump on over to Rokfin, and then you don't have to miss a thing, right? We won't have to miss each other, and it's gonna be a good time. So, with that, let's go ahead and pull up. Not you. Not you at all. Um, 1 second. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close out with one of my favorite musicians, conspiracy music guru, who does have a new album out. Be sure to check it out. This is going to be from their previous albums, one of their previous albums, True Solfeggio. This is called Solar Rising. I hope you folks enjoy. YouTube, see you later after the song. We will be closing out. Rokfin, you sit tight. We will be back momentarily. All right. Until next time. Enjoy the soothing melody.